Stay tuned and let's check out this Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home free pack. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, and remember now you can hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today we are taking a look at this brand new Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home free pack with all three of the Peters: Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. Now, if you're a Spider-Man fan or an MCU collector, I'm sure once you've seen this play out in the movie, you instantly wanted to recreate it in plastic for your collection, for your display, and this free pack allows you to do exactly that. They've even tried to recreate that scene with the legends on the front of the packaging, but I must say it is a shame that this set got released during the plastic-free packaging era, as it would have made it an instant collector's item if you had the window and could see all three of the Spider-Man figures. So yeah, sad times it's on the plastic-free packaging. It really doesn't give it its value at all, but at least they tried something here on the front. If you want to get one, I got mine from In Demand Toys here in the UK, a little bit cheaper and arrived quicker than Pulse, so I'll put the link in the description. Now, my review table is far too small, but I will show you the side images on the screen right now so you can see what's going on there. There is a Spider-Man logo up top. On the back of the box, we get some digital renders of the figures that we've already seen, plus a list of all the accessories they come with. They each come with 3 sets of hands and a web line each, but there is an accessory that we do wish they all had. We shall discuss that as we get it open. So let's waste no time and get it open. Here we have Peter 1, 2 and 3 out of the packaging with their accessories. Now, as I said, each Spider-Man comes with 3 sets of hands and a web line that you can't really see on my white background, but I'll show you them shortly. And I am happy to report there doesn't seem to be any QC issues on mine. All the web lines look clean and all the accessories are accounted for. And I do always worry about that with plastic-free packaging box sets. So we're off to a good start here, and I am excited to check out these figures. Now, we have had versions of Tobey Maguire via Toy Biz, and we have had versions of Andrew Garfield via Hasbro, but these ones are undoubtedly needed updates, as all 3 of these figures are completely pinless. These 2 are newly tooled, as the web lines on these 2 are sculpted on there. Now, we have had this Tom Holland integrated suit before, of course, but they have tried to make it a little bit more movie accurate with the deco, so we will do a comparison with the previous figure, but I think people are most excited for these 2. So let's get Tom out the way. Starting with a straight up comparison of our integrated suit Spider-Man. So as you can see, we have the new one from this free pack here compared to the previous version. Now, both of these figures are exactly the same in regards to sculpt. The difference is only in the deco. Now, this one did have the web lines sculpted on there, but they weren't painted. These ones have been painted, and they really do bring out that extra detail and make those web lines pop. Also, the blue sort of detail is a lot more blue compared to the greyish black of the previous one. I'll throw them on the rotating base so you can see for yourself as they spin around, as the difference is only in the deco, but you do see the sort of black outlines of the web really do make a difference. They are much more movie accurate compared to the previous version. You can get a better look at that if you look at the head sculpts. Again, both exactly the same head sculpt, but now you can see the black web lines actually painted in like that sort of black wash, and again, really does help. So overall, I do see it as an upgrade, small upgrade, but it's still an upgrade all the same. And of course, he comes with a new set of hands that the previous one didn't have, as he has the 2 wall crawling hands, but he also has a set of fisted hands, and he also has his swipping hands too. And I suppose the red is a little bit darker as well on the new one when compared to the previous version. As you can see, it's a little bit more lighter in tone compared to the sort of dark shadows on that one. So yeah, darker red as well. And you can see on this one, it actually had the gauntlets on. So did this one, but to make it more scene accurate, you can just remove them, which I've done already. So here's one I've made earlier. I've removed the 2 gauntlets. They are just separate pieces that come off like so. And now he's actually more scene accurate to that Statue of Liberty scene. So yeah, there you go. Just your option. Now, unfortunately, the figure doesn't come with one, but if you do have an unmasked Tom Holland head sculpt, then yes, it will just pop on this body. So here we have one of the Far From Home versions, and here we have the head sculpt from the Peter and Ned 2-pack, and honestly, this is the best Tom Holland head sculpt we have in Marvel Legends, and it pops on this body, no problem at all. Next up, Peter, number 2, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. And like many people my age, they grew up with this guy being the Spider-Man in the movies, and I was very happy to see him return in live action. Very nostalgic, and I'm even happier to see him in the Marvel Legends line. So he comes with a web line and those 3 sets of hands, but let me move them out of the way for a second. I'll get the tape measure out. He should be taller than Tom, and he is, as he is over 6 inches. Only just though, and if I throw up a side-by-side image of just something from the movies, you can see his outfit definitely stands out from the others, as his web lines have more of a silvery shimmer to them. So yeah, it's iconic at this point, isn't it? Let's zoom in. Zooming in gives you a much better look at those silver shimmering web lines that we now associate with this Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. It's crazy how all 3 Spider-Mans can look so similar yet so different at the same time, and this uniform is iconic at this point. But look how nicely they have done this head sculpt with the sculpted web lines going all the way around. The eyes are nicely done as well, and it's more of a silver than it is a white as well in the eyes, which do shine under the lights. And the whole red of the uniform has like this texture on it as well, so it's not just flat red. So it's very, very nicely done. Bravo. The head itself is on a dumbbell joint, so you do get a decent range going down, looking up, side to side, tilt and pivot and all that good stuff. Yeah, look at that, just very, very nicely done. You'll be impressed when you get this in hand, especially if you're a fan of this Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And just like the movie, depending on how the light hits it and the shadows that are created, you see the web lines sometimes look a little bit darker, sometimes look a little bit brighter. So yeah, so looking at the rest of the uniform, you can see the spider logo sculpted over the web lines there in black. On the back, you've got the red spider logo going over all the different parts of the body. Really nice points of articulation over it. Completely pinless, double jointed elbows with, again, those web lines sculpted all the way down to the hands. Again, on the boots as well. And the boots are sculpted, but looks like they've got a swivel there, but they don't. But they have got that nice little texture to them. Even the blue's got a bit of a texture to it, but more so on the red. And yeah, they did not skimp on any of the details for this costume. Really, really nice. Let's look at the articulation. I've already showed you how the head moves, but the arms will go way past 90 at the shoulder. They will spin round as well. Bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows, and then an up and down hinge in both of the wrists. There's even a really nice deep butterfly joint as well. Now the waist is got the ab crunch with the ball joint being at the top of the diaphragm, so you get lots of swivel up here at the ball joint, tilt, etc. But you utilize that with the crunch at the waist, and you get a really nice range looking forward and a really nice deep crunch going back as well. So you utilize that together, you'll be able to get some great web swinging poses. There's a tiny drop down at the hips, so the legs go up about that far, at least to 90. Double jointed pinless knees. He can kick his own boot. No boot swivel though. Ankle pivot and rocker. There is a thigh cut there as well. So you combined all of that articulation with his set of fisted hands, his set of swipping hands, and his set of wall crawling hands, and you'll be able to get this guy in some great poses. I think at the end of the day, people are going to be very happy to finally have an updated Marvel Legends representation of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And it's canon with the MCU. For a comparison, here I have the only Tobey Maguire Spider-Man I have in plastic. It is, of course, the recently released SH Figure Arts version. Now you can see side by side the Marvel Legends is a little bit taller, as you would expect. Also, the blues and the reds and the color palette is just brighter overall compared to the SH Figure Arts. Now the SH Figure Arts web lines are a little bit darker, but they still shimmer. They're just not as silvery as the Marvel Legends. So it's hard to say which one is more accurate to the source material, because it all depends on what movie scene you're looking at. Sometimes his uniform does look a little bit darker, sometimes it looks a little bit brighter. So I think that will fall down to personal preference. I think at the end of the day, the SH Figure Arts may have more articulation, but I think aesthetically and proportionally, the Marvel Legends just looks a little bit more natural, and it doesn't have many cuts for the articulation. So again, it all falls down to personal preference, but there we have. I'll tell you one thing that the SH Figure Arts had over the Marvel Legends though, is that it came with 2 unmasked Tobey Maguire heads that this guy definitely didn't, and it was a big disappointment. I will try the SH Figure Arts head on the Marvel Legend body, but as I expected, it does not fit. The ball peg is way too big on the Marvel Legends for the SH Figure Arts small ball peg, so yeah, way too big, and the head may be proportionately too small anyway, even if you did want to Dremel that out, but it's an expensive figure to Dremel out. So Toby seems happy that the SH Figure Arts gets a win overall on that. And then last but not least, definitely not in my eyes, it is Peter number 3, Andrew Garfield, the Amazing Spider-Man. Again, he looks great and definitely looks like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. It's crazy how unique each one does look. His colour palette is a little bit darker overall, and he has the elongated spider logo on the front. And he is the tallest of all 3 Spider-Man. As you can see, he is about 6¼ inches in height. He also has the 3 sets of interchangeable hands that we'll look at in a minute. But let me throw up a side-by-side so you can see for yourself how he compares next to an image from the movie. Again, I think they've done a great job putting it in plastic. Definitely the most accurate Marvel Legend Andrew Garfield Spider-Man we have in figure form. Let's zoom in. Andrew also has the sculpted on web lines throughout the figure. They're in a solid black this time. The eyes are wider on the mask with the outline a little bit thicker around the eyes as well. The red's darker obviously, but it still has that texture on the red plastic up close. And overall, I think they've done a really good job of capturing that Andrew Garfield silhouette. Like really liking that. Honestly, when you get these in person, you'll be able to see all these details. Here we have his sort of trademark elongated spider logo. I did always like that. That goes on both the upper and lower torso. It continues those legs when you lean it back as well. You get the red logo on the back too. And overall, yeah, just a solid representation of the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. I did always like Andrew as both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I always thought he did a good job. It was just the rest of the film around him didn't quite work for whatever reason. He's got a little bit more blue on the sleeves, and then he's got the spider pattern continuing down on the forearms and on all the hands, sculpted on web lines, double jointed pinless elbows, double jointed pinless knees, and you still get the same sculpted detail on the boots as well. But yeah, you get that sort of bout piece. And yeah, just overall, even the texture on the blue is really nice as well. So completely pinless, newly tooled Marvel Legend, unique for Andrew Garfield. Really like it. Also, a little detail I didn't point out, he actually has his web shooters sculpted on the inner sort of forearm. Now, they could have done with a little bit of paint to really make them pop, but they have been sculpted on there, which I thought was a nice touch. The articulation on this guy will be basically the same as Toby, as both of these figures have been newly tooled and they're completely pinless. So expect about the same range. Head's on a dumbbell joint so it can look up, down, tilt, pivot, all of that good stuff. Arms go past 90, spin all the way around, bicep swivel, and then a double jointed pinless elbow, up and down hinge in all of the hands. He also has that same butterfly joint forward and back. He has the inverted crunch at the waist, so the crunch is there with the ball at the top of the diaphragm. So that's where you get your tilt, sort of swivel all up top, but you combined it with the crunch at the waist and you can get him looking really far down. Same going all the way backwards, so you can get him into some great web swinging poses. He has the pinless double jointed knees. Can he kick an own ass? Yes, he can. You've got the thigh cut, ankle pivot and rocker, no boot cut. He has the drop down hips, so you drop them down and you can get his legs really far up, probably further up than Toby, to be fair. But overall, you combine that with his sets of hands, so he has some fisted hands, some sweeping hands, and then some open palm hands. You'll be able to get this guy in some great Spider-Man poses. I did always enjoy the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, a little bit wittier than the others. And for a comparison, let's bring back in all the Spider-Men, Peter 1, 2 and 3, in height order, which I think is accurate from the movie. There has technically been an Andrew Garfield Marvel Legend back in 2014, the Ultimate Green Goblin wave it was, but trust me, there was a time you couldn't get rid of that figure. No one wanted it, so obviously mine is long gone, but this one is clearly the upgrade. You don't even need to see the comparison. These are the 3 figures you want to have accurate representations of the live action Spider-Man in Marvel Legends form, all completely pinless and newly tooled. Really like it. The only thing this box set is missing for me is the unmasked heads. With Spider-Man, Peter Parker is just as important, and I'd like to represent that in my collection. And obviously these are based off live action, so we need the actors' likenesses. So we're missing Tobey Maguire, we're missing Andrew Garfield, we've got a couple of Toms already, but we would have took another one. So yeah, we really need the unmasked heads for these Spider-Men to really please the collector in us. So it's not to be. We do get these three sort of web sort of effects though that are quite translucent. You can't really see on my white background. They're quite soft. They've got like a hook on one end to grip, and this end is quite loose as well. So they're not the best, but they do work for posing if you want to dangle them from a display or something. But I do prefer bendy wire sort of custom options. But they're in the box. But still, unmasked heads is what we're really missing. Let's end with a few random comparisons. Now I do think we're going to get more figures from this movie. We just have to be patient, especially for the villains. But until then, here we have Ned Leeds and MJ. Here we have the Far From Home Doctor Strange with the portal effects. I do think they display nice. And then we have Wong from Multiverse of Madness. For a comic multiverse crossover, here we have two of the best legend options with the 60th anniversary and Renew Your Vows. And until we get some accurate villains, they're still Spider-Man characters that you can make work on your display. So here we have a couple of comic Venoms. If you're looking for some generic MCU thugs for your Spider-Man characters to beat up for photos, then look no further than the Tracksuit Mafia, bro. And of course, this makes no sense, but I am hoping to get an accurate movie Doc Ock with bendy wires very soon, and maybe even an MCU Lizard as well. Time will tell. Here we have some of the Who crew with Frogman, Tigra and White Rabbit. And then last but never least, here we have Captain Britain and Hal, Fire, Hank. And hey, we actually need a live action Aunt May. But which one? Final thoughts on this Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home 3-pack with all three Spider-Man. That's Peter 1, 2 and 3, Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. This is a desired set. Even before No Way Home came out, people would have loved the opportunity to get updated versions of these characters into the Marvel Legends line, and now you can. The one missing piece to this box set, at least for me, is the unmasked civilian heads. It would have really took it to the next level if we had gotten those unmasked heads in this box set. Rumors are we're going to get them down the line. Who knows? Until that happens, this is what we've got. And if you are buying this set, or you're planning to buy this set, then you're clearly a fan of all three of these Spider-Men, and I think you're going to be very happy with it overall. It's just those missing heads are going to bug some people. But you can let me know all of that in the comments below. Are you still excited to get this set, or are you going to try and hold out hope that you're going to get another opportunity with those unmasked heads down the line? Again, until they're officially confirmed, no one knows if they're coming. This may be your only opportunity. So as I said, don't hesitate. It's going to be a popular set all the same. Let me know your thoughts, and if you like Marvel Legends, and well, you're in the right place. Check out the videos tab, find the playlist, but most importantly, please hit that subscribe button, hit all of the notification bell, don't miss out on a video, and please hit that join button, become a channel member. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. You can follow me on Instagram at @StanWho, and I'm on Twitter as well. Don't be shy, you can tweet me at DanWhoReviews. Until then, people, my name has been Dan W, and I will of course see you on the next one.